Hello, everyone. Today is Saturday. The APEC summit hosted by South Korea has just concluded. Let's chat about some light and pleasant topics with you all, temporarily stepping away from the treacherous and dark power struggles. Trump paid no attention to the APEC summit. He probably felt the occasion wasn't grand enough for him. So, after a 12-minute, highly satisfactory Trump-Xi meeting, he headed back home. Xi Jinping naturally picked up the peaches that Trump left on the ground, positioning himself as the summit's biggest male lead, as if by divine right. But no one expected that the person who stole the show at the summit, successfully seizing the media's most intense spotlight, was neither Xi Jinping nor even the host, Lee Jae-myung, but Japan's new Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi. Right after Takaichi's Takaichi meeting with Xi ended, her explosive 2 minutes had already shocked international public opinion, with Japanese media even exclaiming it as a dialogue of ice and fire. Takaichi's toughness even forced Xi into a rare bathroom escape, which netizens gleefully dubbed the real-life version of Xi Jinping's Scared Witless. Additionally, Takaichi sliding her chair to cozy up with the Indonesian president and draping her arm around the Chilean president's shoulders during conversation showcased a female leader's diplomatic approach, rich with affinity and down-to-earth charm, to its fullest. The related footage dominated headlines across major media, completely overshadowing Xi Jinping. Today is November 1st, Eastern Time. I'm Tang Jingyuan. Welcome to subscribe to our channel. Let's watch the big show together. APEC Summit Storm Figure, Sanai Takaichi. 1. A shocking 2-minute diplomacy ***. The Japan-China leaders' talks detonated international public opinion. This meeting, lasting less than 30 minutes, was described by Japanese media as a dialogue of ice and fire. According to NHK and Bloomberg reports, just 2 minutes in, right after the pleasantries, Takaichi directly pointed out multiple issues where clear differences exist between China and Japan. She then unleashed a rapid-fire series of questions in a tough tone. The Jiaoyu Islands and East China Sea situation, China's restrictions on rare earth exports, the detention of Japanese citizens by China, security guarantees for Japanese travelers in China, China's actions in the South China Sea violating international law, the destruction of freedom and rule of law in Hong Kong, the human rights situation in Xinjiang, and the unresolved case of North Korea's abduction of Japanese citizens. This nearly encompassed all the sensitive issues China least wants to touch. Many diplomats later admitted candidly, such an opening was utterly earth-shattering. What sent public opinion into an uproar was that when Takaichi raised the Xinjiang human rights issue, visibly uncomfortable, she was reported to have stood up and left for the restroom. This news exploded across Japanese networks, with hordes of Japanese netizens mocking. Xi Jinping was scared into peeing himself. Though exaggerated, it fully reflects the shock this scene caused among the public. 2. The affinity side ***. First, Takaichi's toughness seemed targeted. She offered Xi at most a polite smile, with body language that was starkly obvious. Let's look at the handshake footage between her and Xi. This is essentially the maximum distance two people can maintain while shaking hands. This body language truly reflects Takaichi's deep inner rejection and resistance toward Xi. But toward leaders of other countries, Takaichi was full of warmth, deploying feminine soft power diplomacy and frequently creating memorable scenes. Second, during the summit, Indonesian President Prabowo sat to Takaichi's right. Takaichi found a moment to literally slide her chair, right over, proactively chatting with the Indonesian president without any airs, as relaxed as middle schoolers gossiping after class. This footage, captured by South Korea's MBC, spread like wildfire, with netizens jokingly calling it diplomacy's social genius. Japanese netizens laughed, dubbing it the number one girl everyone hopes sits next to them when seats are rearranged in class. Third, while talking with Chilean President Gabriel Boric during the summit, perhaps because the hall was too crowded and noisy, Takaichi casually reached out, resting her hand on Boric's shoulder and leaning in to hear him better. Boric looked delighted, even flashing a slightly shy smile. It was pure seasoned PR mastery. Fourth, during Takaichi's meeting with Lee Jae-myung, after the handshake photo op and before sitting down, Takaichi passed the South Korean flag and proactively gave it a slight bow. She then turned and gave a slight bow to the Japanese flag as well. This gesture won overwhelming praise from South Korean netizens, sending goodwill toward the Japanese Prime Minister skyrocketing. Many criticized Takaichi, saying she lacks a bit of dignity and reserve. How should we view this? There's actually a key point behind it. In fact, upon close inspection, Takaichi has an exquisite sense of proportion. She calibrates her interactions perfectly based on different leaders and cultural contexts. China is Japan's biggest competitor, so Takaichi remains neither servile nor overbearing, maintaining sufficient reserve. Indonesia is a major Southeast Asian power, a Muslim nation, and a target Japan is currently working hard to court. So Takaichi initiates contact proactively but avoids any physical touch. Leaders from the Americas, due to Western cultural norms, generally have higher acceptance of physical contact. Thus, Takaichi naturally links arms with Trump and rests a hand on Borik's shoulder, quickly closing diplomatic distance, eliminating the awkwardness of a first meeting and paving the way for smoother deal-making and cooperation later. Regardless of personal opinions about Takaichi, one thing is certain. She is an atypical politician and a temperament-driven individual who doesn't much care for political correctness, strikingly similar to Trump in this regard. Her goal is crystal clear: to swiftly open a new chapter in Japanese diplomacy, maximize global impressions of Japan, and reduce external wariness and rejection of Japan's rearmament and growing national strength, especially among East and Southeast Asian nations, which are particularly sensitive to this due to historical reasons. Her ultimate objective is constitutional revision to normalize Japan. A prime minister who can set aside ego and conduct flexible diplomacy for the nation's greatest goal is a blessing for the Japanese people. If anyone thinks Takaichi's display of affinity means she's weak, they're gravely mistaken. During the conference, Takaichi posted 2 photos on her social media account of meeting Taiwan's APEC leader representative, Morris Chang, with one post referring to him as Taiwan's presidential advisor. On November 1st, China's foreign ministry spokesperson erupted in impotent rage, harshly condemning the Japanese leader for deliberately meeting Taiwanese personnel and then hyping it on social media, seriously violating the One China principle, sending a gravely erroneous signal to Taiwan independence forces with vile nature and impact, etc. At the same time, China lodged solemn representations and strong protests with Japan, claiming the Taiwan issue concerns the political foundation of China-Japan relations and is an untouchable red line. Did you all see that? Takaichi is gentle toward friendly and peaceful nations, but gives not an inch of face to aggressive, domineering ones, showing zero fear of CCP pressure. By contrast, how many male national leaders, seemingly tough and posturing on the surface, crumple the moment CCP pressure is applied? A politician without firm convictions simply cannot achieve this. Speaking of Xi's famous bathroom escape scene, we must also mention another of his iconic moments, bursting into hearty laughter after being amused by Trump. After the U.S.-China leaders' meeting on Thursday, October 30th, the White House published multiple on-site photos on its website, several showing a cheerful atmosphere. President Trump pulled out what appeared to be a photo for Chinese President Xi Jinping to see. She leaned in curiously, even pointing at the apparent photo. Foreign Minister Wang Yi, seated to Xi's left, looked at the apparent photo and seemed pleasantly surprised. Kai Chi, director of the General Office of the CCP Central Committee, seated to Xi's right, also peeked curiously. The result: she let out a rare, genuine belly laugh, eyes squinting with joy, clearly truly amused, not a diplomatic courtesy smile. The photos sparked massive attention. The world is dying to know what Trump showed that could instantly make the usually dour Xi laugh so relaxed and happy. Currently, 3 popular theories circulate. 1. A handwritten talking points card with key negotiation topics. This might include points or phrases related to U.S.-China trade agreements, fentanyl crackdowns, or rare earth export commitments, written in Trump's signature sharpest style. Trump's habit of using such cards in meetings is well known. The source of this theory is Dennis Wilder, who served as NSC director for China under the George W. Bush administration. He speculated the card looked like Trump's talking points card, similar to those he once prepared for President Bush. 2. Some kind of Trump prank image. Trump loves pranks, often posting AI videos mocking political rivals or the far left, e.g., planes dropping manure on anti-Trump protests. Speculation holds he showed something similar, like a jab at Biden and Harris. Some even guess it was Trump's IQ test results, displayed self-deprecatingly to trigger Xi's laughter, reflecting Trump's unique personality. 3. An extremely cute photo of Trump's granddaughter Arabella. As is well known, Xi is very familiar with Arabella. Years ago, the little girl was called before Xi to recite Tang poetry, delighting Xi and his wife. Peng Liyuan even hugged her, openly showing affection, which is most likely. I personally lean toward the last. Arabella has always been Trump's trump card for showcasing his personal relationship with Xi. In the awkward political atmosphere of signing a humiliating agreement, generally only the most universal human emotion, transcending all politics, like a child's innocent cuteness, can make CCP cadres, perpetually steeped in struggle and vigilance, truly drop their masks and laugh freely. This card was clearly prepared by Trump in advance, to be deployed when negotiations got tough to ease the mood. It had to be something guaranteed to hit Xi's funny bone. This also shows Trump fully controlled the initiative in the negotiations, even Xi's emotions. Many investors say that seeing Xi laugh like that instantly signaled the talks went extremely smoothly and U.S.-China trade is at least stabilized for now. In these talks, China's most threatening card was rare earths, and that was also the outside world's biggest focus. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent dropped a bombshell in a Friday, October 31st, interview with the Financial Times. China's threat to cut rare earth exports would be a major mistake, as China cannot long rely on critical minerals as geopolitical leverage tools. Bessent specifically noted, putting a gun on the table is one thing. Firing it into the air is another. Precisely because China awakened everyone to the risks, the U.S. is smoothly accelerating the build-out of alternative rare earth supply chains. In his words, within the next 12 to 24 months, the U.S. expects to secure new supply sources, significantly reducing reliance on Chinese rare earths. Is Bessent bluffing? No answer yet. The rare earth industry chain isn't just mining. It's a complex system of over 100 steps: extraction, separation, smelting, magnet processing, and downstream manufacturing. For the U.S. to build a complete chain from scratch faces multiple major hurdles, especially rare earth smelting, which produces large volumes of radioactive waste and acidic liquids. U.S. environmental regulations are extremely strict, and any plant construction requires years-long approval processes. We previously said fully escaping dependence might take at least 5 to 8 years. Now Bessent claims at most 2 years, meaning the U.S. must resolve two major issues: a breakthrough in rare earth smelting technology and government greenlighting environmental rules, or other nations possessing refining capacity agreeing to cooperate with the U.S.